into Twisted Tales.
Twisted Tales, Twisted Tales, hell, blood and bones and no trails. Twisted Tales, hell, true got teeth and drags their nails. Urban riding back road sin, dead men talking through the wind. Cursed out.
Good evening, everybody. This is Jeremy here from Twisted Tales, episode 5. Tonight, I have a guy who's pretty much gone and done it all. He is a Reiki Master. He is a Paranormal Investigator. He is a fellow podcaster with not one but multiple different shows on All Access Network. He is the one and only Blaine Rohan. Please come on in, Blaine.
What's up, brother?
Good evening. How you doing tonight, my man?
I'm good. You know what made me mad? I love your theme music you have for your show. And for the last 3 nights, when Gwen's played the intro, I hear jack nothing.
Oh, wow.
Jeremy's got the coolest music on the network.
Thank you, man. I love the music. It was made by my good friend Danny Perez, aka Danny Radical. You know,
we know Danny very well.
Yep, it's a one of a kind. It's
he did such good with. I was like, I sent him a message. Could you do us a song too?
You know, it is great to have you on here tonight, man. You are a guy who has done it all, not only on All Access Network, but across the board. And, you know, peeling back a little bit, because not a lot of people probably know, how did you actually get involved in the paranormal to begin with, like way back in the day?
Well, dude, when I was 4 years old, we lived literally across the street from an old graveyard that was all run down and dilapidated. Nobody knew who owned it. But my grandmother and me would go over there and pick wild blackberries and plums and strawberries. She'd get grocery sacks full of them and to go back and make pies and jellies out of them. Well, we were coming back across the street one day with 2 bags in our hand full of plums and, you know, fruit and stuff we had picked. And, excuse me, we lived on a busy street. So I remember this like it was yesterday. My grandmother went ahead and went across the street. And as soon as she did, I heard this lady crying, and I turned around, and this lady in this beautiful white dress was leaned over this grave, and she was just bawling. I mean, because she found her husband finally. She didn't know where her husband was buried till that day. Well, I didn't know this, but she had been looking for his grave for a while, and me being the little Southern gentleman that I was, I went up to her. I said, "Ma'am, are you okay?" And I'll never forget this, dude. She looked up at me with still had tears in her eyes. Says, "I'm okay now, baby." And as soon as she said baby, she was gone. Just poof, gone like the wind.
Woo-hoo.
I go back to get across the street to where my grandmother was. My grandmother looks at me, and she's got this shitty grin on her face. She goes, "I knew you had the damn gift. I just knew it." Now I'm going to tell you, my grandmother was a little Cherokee woman, full-blooded. And she thought it was amazing that one of her grandchildren had the same gift she did. So that's how I started seeing and hearing spirits. Now, I'll tell you a funny story. My grandmother's sister's husband died, and this man was jealous of all get out. Hi, Jeremy. All get out of all men. Well, living in the South, somebody from a church is going to come by your house and try to console you. Well, Uncle Bill did not like men around his house because he wasn't there. Technically, he wasn't there in body.
Yeah.
I watched him pick up a vase off the mantle and fling it about 90 miles an hour at the door at him.
Oh, wow.
Needless to say, they didn't stay around much longer.
Doesn't sound like they would.
I'm like 5, 6 years old, and I'm watching this whole thing, and I'm trying not. I started laughing because I thought it was funny as hell.
Yeah.
And being growing up in the South, I couldn't just tell nobody, well, Uncle Bill just picked up that mace and flung it at the door. And because, I live right on the belt buckle of the Bible Belt. So.
Okay.
But my grandmother was my mentor for about till I was like 7.
Okay.
And she got remarried to an Air Force guy and left. So I had to do all of this stuff on my own. And dude, some of the spirits I would see gunshot victims. I would see stabbing victims. I'd see car wreck victims, burnt up victims. And being 7, 8 years old, you're like, what do you do with this? I had no clue because there was nobody but me. And I couldn't tell nobody. I couldn't tell my dad. My mom knew.
Yeah.
Because her mother's the one that had the gifts too. My mom had them, but was scared to use hers. But yeah, dude, I dealt with it. And I told myself one day, if I ever get to be a big boy and be a man,
yeah,
I'm going to help children, psychic mediums, to understand why they have been given this gift, because we didn't ask for these gifts; they were given to us for a reason, and I've never questioned the reason. And once I learned to embrace my gifts, it became a lot easier, because then I could just tell them, like, please don't show me that. I'm too young to see that. I don't want to see that no more.
Yeah,
You scared me, and like I said, I couldn't tell nobody. So, so it's going on every day now. I probably saw them when I was a baby. I just don't remember. The first time was 4. But now it's like common knowledge. I was at my doctor's one because recently I just got over cancer. I was seeing my cancer doctor today, and while I was waiting for her, I watched 5 spirits walk through the door into the room I was in, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing? You got something you need to tell me?" "No, we just wanted to see. We just wanted to see the one that could see us." I'm like, "Okay, well, I must be pretty known in this field now with other spirits because they knew who I was."
Isn't it amazing how, like, you go from a young child knowing that you have gifts, but not knowing what the hell to do with them because you really can't tell anybody because you must be like shunned upon or whatever, and then embracing them. I think, hey James, how you doing? But embracing the gifts is probably was probably just as important as actually having them in the first.
It actually was, and that's what that me and Lee, when we teach the class on psychic kids, we get their parents there. We'll tell them, look, okay, this child didn't choose to have these gifts, but they were given to them for a reason that we don't know about. It's not for us to know. Thanks, Jason. Sorry. And I tell them, look, once you learn to embrace your gifts, you'll do fine with it. And I will not say his name, but there was a certain TV personality that did something with psychic kids.
Mm-hmm.
And what made me mad about it, I won't say his name because I'm not going to give him that much credit. People know who he is.
Yeah.
Well, he would take those children to a location, did not show them any form of protection to protect themselves or how to shield themselves. He would take them and drop them off the location, get back in the, nice fancy car that the studio sent for him, go back to the hotel room. Well,
wow.
He told these children and their parents that if they ever needed him to help with anything, gave him his phone number and everything. I know 4 parents down in the state of Florida that were on that TV show, and they tried to call this person for guidance and help. He never answered the calls. I got called by the parents of 4 children that were on that show, and I had to go down there and teach them how to shield themselves, how to ground themselves, how to protect themselves, and because he never did.
People who take advantage of other people, I do not care for them at all, and eventually karma will give them exactly what they deserve.
Dude,
Down the line.
karma's gonna bite him on his big goofy ass one day,
I agree.
and I'm
So
gonna laugh.
my curiosity is, so when did you actually do your first like official paranormal investigation? Like when did you get into the investigation?
And it is funny. That was 41 years ago, February 15th. I was stationed at Norton Air Force Base in California. We were in our day room. There was 3 of us in there, and we were watching Helter Skelter on
Oh
TV,
boy.
the movie.
Yep. I know that one
And
very well.
I just looked up and I was like, we're only 62 miles away from there. Like, no. So, dude, this is how we went old school. All right, we had a map, an actual paper map, and we mapped it out from Norton Air Force Base up to Cielo Drive. It took us exactly 61 minutes to get up there. We had, now this is funny, we had a tape recorder, a Polaroid camera, and being in the Air Force, when you go through basic training, they give you a flashlight that has a colored tip on it. It might be green, red, or yellow.
Okay.
We called them Lackland lasers. We took those 3 up there, and the house that Sharon Tate was actually murdered in is no longer there anymore. It was bought by a father and son. They took down the house because the house originally belonged to Terry Melcher, who was Doris Day's son.
Okay.
Well, of course, Charlie had been there several times because he used to bring drugs to Dennis Wilson when Dennis Wilson lived in the house. And Terry Melcher turned him down for a record contract. He says, "You're okay, but you need a lot of work." And it pissed Charlie off.
Right.
He said, "Okay, I know this location." So that's why he chose that one. Now, the LaBiancas was just a random pick. They were driving around and said, "This house looks good." That's how they got to that house.
Oh, wow.
Well, we get up there, and I know better to step off the curb because it's in like a little small cul-de-sac. Well, it's actually a big cul-de-sac. We stood on the curb because I know if I stayed on the curb, I was on public property. I couldn't get arrested. Well, no later than 5 minutes later, we had an LA County Sheriff's officer come up there and goes, "What are you guys doing?" And this is before they had a name for ghost hunting. He said, "We're trying to catch a ghost." He said, "I get off in 5 minutes. I'll be right back." I'm like, "Hell yeah, you come on back because I don't get arrested if your ass is with me." So, we got nothing on the Polaroid but a bunch of dust. Flashlight was useless anyway because there was street light there.
Yeah.
But on the cassette recorder, I just started asking questions. I said, "Who's here?" Then I got this male voice. And I said, "What do you do for a living?" And clear as day, you heard him say, "I cut hair." Well, Dick Seaman was a hairstylist to the stars. Abigail Folger came through next. And I asked her, I said, "What do you do?" And all her exact words were coffee. Or she was part of the Folger's coffee fortune.
Yeah.
And then Sharon came through, and her words were, "They killed me, they killed my baby." But that was the first 3 EVPs I ever called.
Oh my
We didn't
God.
get nothing else but those 3 voices.
Well, I think that's a good enough amount of that. Those are pretty substantial EVPs for your first ever real investigation. You know.
And it's funny, I picked up on Sharon being an empath medium right before she came through. Because I love Sharon Tate. A lot of people don't know she was on Beverly Hillbillies as one of the secretaries, but she had a brown wig on.
Okay.
And I loved her in Valley of the Dolls.
Yep.
And I think she was in a movie called Giant. But
I'm not really sure. I know that. I read the book about the Helter Skelter and Charlie and the family and all of that kind of stuff, and it amazes me the way that he was able to control regular people like you and I to do horrific things.
Dude,
it was amazing. And
well, what he would do, dude, he would fuel them up on drugs, and he would act like he was taking the drugs with him, but wouldn't take. He'd take either smaller dose or wouldn't take none at all.
Yeah.
And what he did, he got into their subconscious, Because most of these people were like middle class kids. You know, they had mom and dad families.
Just regular old people, yeah.
They wouldn't like they were a bunch of, you know, just runaways or, you know, one single parent homes.
Right.
Well, they had moms and dads and lived in nice houses, and some of them were cheerleaders. Like Tex Watson played football in high school in Texas, had a scholarship to go to University of Texas and play. Oh, Manson drugged the shit out of him, Christy.
Oh yeah,
and he brainwashed them, and they believed everything that little man. You know, he was only like 5'3".
He was a very small person. Yes.
Yeah, dude, he's like you could just drop kick his ass and you kick a field goal with it. He was that little, but God, he was a manipulative bastard. You know, his mother sold him for a pitcher of beer.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, dude. When he was growing up in Kentucky, his mother was a prostitute. His grandmother was a prostitute. His grandmother ended up selling him after she got custody of him. After she got him back from the dude she sold him for a 6-pack of beer for.
Oh, wow.
The grandmother got him back and traded him off for a pitcher of beer. I'm like, jeez.
Man. No wonder why he hated people so much at that point. But,
dude. Oh, yeah. Plus, he'd been to prison. Dude, he went to prison when he was 17 years old for the first big stint. He had been to like juvie halls and stuff like that, 13, 14, 15 for stealing a car, shoplifting, little minor offenses. Well, he got his first big charge. Oh,
that is true.
Christy, you know, it was the Beach Boys. They actually did one of Charlie's songs, but they rechanged all the words in the song.
I remember reading about that.
Yeah, I was a big. I don't know what it was. I was fascinated with the Manson family. Why would they do? Because I have a master's in psychology.
Okay.
And I have 2 masters in history. And my thought process was like, why would they do that? Oh, yeah. But Bundy at least had a sort of stable lifestyle. Hi, Lee. But yeah, that was my first investigation.
Wow.
I've also, God, you probably name one of the major places I've probably been to it or will be going to it. So, but California, our dorms where I lived on Norton Air Force Base, our dorm was haunted as hell. I mean, there were spirits all over the place. You had not only because the base had been there since the 30s. It's no longer there. They closed it down probably about 20 years ago now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's still there. It's a little regional airport now.
Okay.
Because they kept the runways and stuff, but most of the buildings there are gone now, been replaced with other buildings for that little small airport. But yeah, our dorm was haunted. Dude, I wish I would have recorded some of the stuff that I saw in our dorms. I mean, walking up and down the halls, walking through walls, walking from, because it was 3 floors in the dorms. I watched them walk from the first floor, go through the ceiling to the second floor, up to the 3rd floor. It was weird. I could see them transgressing all 3 floors.
Yeah.
I couldn't see the floor, except for the ceiling. But I could see them transgressing through those 3 floors. And sometimes they didn't even end up on the roof.
That's amazing. So I saw on your bio that you're a Reiki master.
I'm a Reiki master. Okay, a funny story about how I became a Reiki master. My grandma
ask you, but please.
was a medicine woman, little Cherokee medicine woman, a shaman. So the little bit of time she taught me the basics of how to do Reiki.
Okay.
Well, I'm on a TDY in South Korea, at Kunsan Air Force Base. And I had made friends with this little Korean guy. He taught Reiki. I didn't know what it was called at the time. I just knew it was energy healing, which my grandmother taught me.
Okay.
So, to pay him, he wouldn't take cash. I'd have to go to the liquor store on base, buy him a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I went 3 times. The 3rd time I went, He just looked at me, shook his head, and goes, "I can't teach you no more." He says, "You know more than I do." I'm like, "How the hell do I know more than you do?" He says, "Dude, you're just a natural energy healer."
Right.
He said, "I want," because we only did like 3 week stints there, and then we'd have to leave. But I went 7 times. So every time I came back, I go find him. Even though he wasn't teaching me anymore, I bring the ball of Jack. And we would sit there and talk. And he'd have his students say, "I want you to learn from this guy." So I started teaching Reiki. And he just looked at me. He gave me my little certificate. It's probably long gone by now, all the military moves I made. But
right.
He gave me my certificate saying you are a Reiki Master. And then he had to put his own little words in, extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire. Hey, you know what? Why not put a spin on it, man? You know. Mm-hmm. And I know, you talk about like being investigating pretty much just about anywhere you possibly think of, and I think earlier we were discussing before we came on the air Gettysburg.
Dude, one of my favorite places in the world.
And I've been there several times. I've been to like 4 or 5 different battlefield bashes.
Right on. We will be up there this year. Gwen, and Lee will be up there this year in July. So I'll get to actually meet you in person in July if you're going. No,
unfortunately, I'm not going this year. I'm taking a break for a little bit because it's like an 8-hour drive for us. Plus, I got the main paranormal and horror convention in September that I'm focusing on right now because I'm on a panel up there. And
I haven't looked to see how far it's going to be for me because I have to drive from Central Alabama. I'm going to drive from here to South Carolina to meet at Lee's house, and we're going to drive up together. Yeah. We're going to ride up together. That way we have 3 of us that can drive. Now, I got lucky. I got an assignment up at Pax River in Maryland to teach Navy guys how to build cargo pallets, of all things.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to build their own pallets. They use the same pallets we use on airplanes for the boats. Most of them there were off aircraft carriers. So they loaded up cargo and stuff on the aircraft carriers, like the supplies and stuff. Well, where we were at in Maryland, it's right outside of Baltimore. So it was only like a 2-hour drive for me to go to Gettysburg.
Okay.
And I had met some friends over there on Facebook and asked them to say, "Look, I'm a paranormal investigator. Hey, I'd like to go investigate with you guys." Well, it's funny. My friend's brother turned me down, but his sister took me. And then he ended up telling us one night, says, "I made the biggest mistake, man. I didn't know you were this talented in this field." I said, "Dude, I'm just me." He said, "Well, I just thought you was just some redneck from Alabama." I said, "Dude, I got like a 170 IQ. Come on, play with me."
So when you went to Gettysburg, like, what were some of your favorite places to investigate in Gettysburg?
Let me tell you, my favorite, I like some of the normal haunts too, but I know of a bridge that's not Sachs Bridge. It's actually called the Eisenhower Bridge.
Okay.
Because Eisenhower was from Gettysburg. A lot of people don't know that. He was from Gettysburg. Well, a local friend of mine up there that used to come on my old radio show sometimes. And she says, "Blaine, when you come up here, I've got to show you this bridge." And I was thinking, "Oh, cool, we're going to Sachs." She says, "No, this makes Sachs look like kid play." Dude, it's an older bridge. I think it was built like in 53 or 54, and they closed it down in like 87 or 88 because it started. Okay. It was too much for them to keep repairs up on it.
Right.
So they closed it, but the bridge is still there. You can't drive on it anymore, but you can still walk on it pretty fine. That's one of my favorite places. We got so much stuff there. We had full-bodied apparitions walking. Where the old bridge that was there during the Civil War, because it was just a little bit off left of where the Eisenhower Bridge is now. Yeah. We would watch them walk across that bridge, full battle gear, full soldiers. We'd seen Northern soldiers. We've seen Confederate soldiers walk across that bridge. Your name will get called out there in an audible voice.
Yep.
I had one of my buddies go with me. He was a skeptic. And we literally get out of the car, and you hear as loud as they as we're talking. It's like, "Hey, Joe Kudo, Joe's eyes got as big as saucers. And he just looks at me and goes, "You did that." I said, "I didn't do nothing, dude. They know who you are. How they know who I am?" He freaked out. I thought it was just hilarious. And we got so much audio that night. We got so much. Ghostbox was just going nuts. I had to literally tell them, please, one at a time, because, dude, they were coming in groups. It was like, like, calm down. We can't understand you. One at a time. Line up in formation. Because I went military on them then. Line up in formation, one at a time. I went into mode.
Yeah.
Drill sergeant mode. And they were like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was like one after the other. Then they just talk and talk and talk. Some of them would tell you where they came from. Some of them would tell you about their wives or their girlfriends or their cousins. It was funny. You just get all kind of information that they tell you about that they're still fighting. And I'm like, you don't have to fight anymore. What do you mean we don't have to fight anymore? We're still battling. I said, dude, your battle's over. And I had to be blunt with them because they didn't know that they were dead.
I definitely have noticed that, not just in Gettysburg, but in multiple different haunted locations that I've had the pleasure and the honor to go to, that the spirits, a lot of them are not aware that they're no longer here. And dude, I don't treat them as such because, I don't want to cause any problems for them personally. And I find that I get better responses and I get overall better conversation if you just you got to treat them like regular people. And dude, I
treat them like they were another soldier. That's the way, because my military training is embedded because my dad was a full-blood colonel. So I grew up in military style, military discipline, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And my other favorite place in Gettysburg, there is an elementary school that's right in the middle of town.
Yep.
They have an outdoor classroom in the back of it. It's on the battlefield.
Oh, wow.
And all you have to do is go, I can't remember if they're a town or a village or a constable, what Gettysburg is actually called or what it is. But you just go tell the police officer that's at the desk, hey, we're paranormal investigators. We're going behind the school. And I make sure I emphasize behind the school. I said, I don't want nothing to do with the school inside. I've already been my time at school. I want to go back to the classroom on the battlefield. Okay, man, just let us know what you're doing. And then I always want to know, well, what'd you catch? And I'd come back and then play EVPs for them. I tell them what we got on the ghost boxes, any pictures we got. They were just fascinated with that shit.
And there's a couple other places like the Farnsworth house. I really
love the Farnsworth house.
That place is amazing. Down the basement. Yeah, it's, my God, is it heavy down there? Oh my God, that is really heavy in there.
Did you ever go to the orphanage?
Yes, my wife and I, we went the very last time we went to Gettysburg, which was 2024. We actually did a nighttime investigation of the orphanage because we wanted to go into it before. We never really got around to it, so we went that time. And I am like a paranormal magnet. The ghosts just flock to me, like the spirits flock to me. All the energy. I'm like a giant magnet, and my God, all the kids just run up like, hey.
That place for me, besides Auschwitz, the concentration camp in Germany, was the roughest place I had to go to because I got all those children that lady abused. All of them. And I even got her. And they only thing they did to her is they fined her $4 and moved to another orphanage.
Wow.
Like, wow. Oh, yeah. Me and that lady don't like each other. She didn't like me at all because I could see them and I was freeing her children. No, all I did was take them out of her hold. I let them do what they wanted to do, but it wasn't under her control anymore. That's what I did to that stupid woman.
Yeah, the orphanage is amazing. The Jenny Wade house actually has some nice energy to it too.
It's funny that wasn't actually Jenny Wade's house. It was her sister's.
Yeah.
I always thought that was funny. It's like, why do y'all call this Jenny Wade's house? It's her sister's house. She was over there making lunch.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Gettysburg is so, and the battlefield, like going up and checking out all the monuments on the battlefields.
I love that.
and some of the stuff I felt there was unbelievable. You really get it in the feels on the battlefield.
Oh God, dude!
Like you can hear the phantom cannons and the
Dude,
rifles.
I've heard the gunshots. I've heard the cannons.
Yeah.
Smelled the gun smoke from them
Oh,
shooting. And I'll tell you a funny story in Gettysburg. You know where the train station is?
yes.
We were standing out in front of us. There was 5 of us, all paranormal investigators.
Yeah.
Nobody's smoking at the time. I got this nasty, cheap tobacco cigar blown in my face right there. I was like, the hell, dude? And then I must have pissed him off because I spoke. And dude, this thing punched me in the nose.
Oh.
And it hit me so hard, I teared up and blood was running down my nose.
Oh.
Then I backed up. I was like, what the hell, dude? Oh, because you're goddamn Johnny. His exact words, you're a goddamn Johnny Reb. I said, dude, I fought for the damn United States of America. Oh, I was so mad. But yeah, that was. I think it's a badge of honor now. It's like, okay, I got punched by a Union soldier in Gettysburg. Hell yeah. I
Why
want you
not, right?
time.
Yes, Jason, there was a lot of residual energy mixed into Gettysburg as well.
Oh yeah,
really
you had so much death there, and then a lot of people don't know about Gettysburg too. That there was severe Indian battles on that land before white people got here.
Oh God, the amount of blood that's been spilled on the battlefields and pretty much the whole town in general, the whole area is just saturated. You know?
Dude, it is so saturated.
I agree,
Matt. One night we were
right
up there, dude. We were getting the Native Americans. We were hearing the drums. We were hearing them do their chants, and then 2 seconds here, pew pew, the gunfire going off.
Wow.
Boom boom. I'm like, dude, we got a battle of dimensions over here going on. It was so cool.
You know, and because my show is Twisted Tales and it goes in any direction it wants to go in, I would be remiss if I didn't get a chance to talk to you about your episode of Monster Quest, because
Dude,
I watched it a few weeks ago.
Oh,
and I was really impressed. I mean, the only thing that my wife and I agreed with was the guy who played you was a little bit off from what you actually really did.
We laugh about that too. It's like, okay, I'm like 6'3". At the time, I was like 250.
Yeah.
And the dude they got to play me was probably like 5'6", probably about $140.
Yep.
And it made me laugh too. The helmet they put on his head, dude, we never wore a helmet over there. Never. That made me laugh. But I gotta say, I can go and talk about it now because it's been dude, my episode is showed 17 times so far.
Yeah. It's
like every time I flip the History Channel, it's like, hey, I'm on TV again. My wife laughs, hey, you're on TV again. It's funny to me because, I was just being me. But the monster I saw, dude, with their recreation of it was dead balls accurate.
That was amazing.
The way they had it come out of the wall was exactly how it happened. And dude, this is what's so screwed up. I'm looking at this damn thing, and I'm going to say it was a gin. I described it to the producer while we were filming, because they filmed you for like 5.5 hours.
Oh, wow.
And for like 7.5 minutes, 7-8 minutes. Well, I'm describing the thing, and they made that thing look exactly how I described it. Dude, it had this big ass head, this beady little eyes, and these messed up teeth, dude. It was like Austin Powers' bad teeth, worse. I'm like, damn, dude. And it happened. It probably lasted about 30, 40 seconds. Because I saw it first before it saw me.
Right.
And then because what it was doing, there were a lot of dead Iraqi soldiers in there because we blew the shit out of that place with that bunker buster. I mean, they blew back a 4.5-foot thick steel door. Blew it about 40 foot back. The door's still there because nobody ever tried to pick it up and move it.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably still there to this day where it's set when we blew it up. But yeah, dude, it happened. And I'm sitting there watching this thing. I was like, okay, I've seen spirits. I've dealt with evil spirits.
Yeah.
How the hell do you deal with this thing?
You're not supposed to.
No.
You just bear witness to it and hope that it doesn't cause you any major problems along the way.
Dude, and all I can tell you, because there was a lot of rubble still on the ground, pieces
Right.
of concrete, stuff like that. When it ran through me and knocked me back, I'm really surprised I didn't crack my head wide open. Because I hit my butt first, then my back, then my head flung and come back up because it bounced off the rubble and the concrete.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the hell, rubbing back on my head? And I was checking for blood, like, please don't let me bleed. I can't explain this shit.
You know,
to the Air Force, it's like, yeah, I was sitting there just minding my own business, drinking a Gatorade, and fucking gin came out of the wall and knocked me on my ass.
it was a truly amazing story, man. I got to tell you, the episode itself was a great watch. I mean, I've seen both yours and Lee's and Gwen's, all three of you guys, because
Right on.
you know
I tell you what was even made it even worse, dude. Is right after the event happened, I got my senses back. I had to go to a staff meeting with the colonel and tell him what we got to load, what we got to do this day.
Yeah.
I walk out of the house because our staff meeting was in another house, probably about 300 feet away. So I had to walk over to the other house because that's where all the officers were and all the upper, like E9s. I was an E8 at the time, but we get hit by 4 rockets and 3 mortars that hit probably about 150 yards away from me.
Oh wow.
We had to deal with a gin, then have to go deal with mortars and rocket attack. That was a great day, let me tell you.
You know, it's truly amazing, you know, and so all of this builds up to current day where you become part of the All Access Family Network, obviously, and you've been doing a podcast with Lee, the family
Spirit.
Yeah, thank you. For how long has that been on now? That one's been on for quite a while, right?
Let's see. Well, originally Lee started it about 15 or 16 years ago.
Yeah, I know that part. Yeah.
And at the time I had my own show.
Okay.
And me and Lee had always been friends. And it's funny, Lee's husband, Matt, was my commander at Maxwell Air Force Base.
Oh,
How
wow.
cool is that? Well, Lee would do my shows and I'd do her shows. Because we guessed on each other. Because back in the day, dude, you were lucky if a guest showed up.
Yeah.
So we were always backups for each other. No, I started out way back in, this is going to date me, Blog Talk Radio.
Wow. Okay.
Dude, oh, yeah, you were lucky if you got 10 minutes of a 60-minute show on there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, it was horrible. And then I went to a couple other networks, and Lee went to other networks too.
Mhm.
But we always seem to end up getting back on each other's shows. And we are just, I mean, Lee is my little sister.
Right.
I claim her as blood. Her mother claimed me as her son. Her and her husband, Matt, we were her 2 sons she never had. Gwen's a little baby sister.
Yep.
That Lee's mama claimed.
Yeah.
But we started Family Spirit. We were on another network. We started it when me and Lee started doing it together.
Yeah.
We were on another network on a good friend of ours. I'll go ahead and say his name. His name is Stan Fikes and his wife Teresa. They own a network called Web Radio Network.
Okay.
And we were on there. And then Lee said, why don't we just start our own network? And Lee started All Access Network.
Yes.
So Family Spirit was the anchor show when we first started. And then another show came, then another and another, where we are now. And we've still got more shows that are getting added to the network coming up soon, you know, because we got the Radicals coming up. They've got a show coming up on here. It's amazed me how well this thing has grown and how all of us react with each other. It's like you're talking like I've known you for your whole life. And
Exactly.
that's how rapport we have with each other on All Access Network, which I just love. And me and Lee and Gwen and Matt, next Tuesday we start Cryptid Nation.
Yeah, you told me about that.
We've got some good guests coming up. I'm not going to give you any hint who we got yet because we're still lining them up.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this one. The guy that is the founder of Monster Quest will be on the show.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. His name is Jared.
Yep.
He's the head honcho for Monster Quest. And I'll tell you, this is funny. When we all filmed, they didn't know what the show's name was.
No kidding.
They had no clue of what the show was. And I was like, they didn't know when it was going to air. They just said, okay, we've got, I think they're going to do 10 episodes this year. I think it might be more, but I know about 10 that they're going to do. I think Gwen's was episode 6. I think there's like 4 episodes left.
Right.
But it was the best filming experience to do because I filmed for another show called Mission Unexplained that was on the Science Channel. I mean, they were great. They were cool, everything. But the way that I always have love for Monster Quest, when I filmed, I had just found out I had cancer. They had just put a feeding tube in me, and I couldn't fly. They filmed everything out in Seattle.
Okay.
Well, Jeremy and Laura Morini, I hope I pronounced her name right, who's one of the producers of the show and a sound guy, flew to Nashville. And I drove up to Nashville because I could still drive.
Yeah.
It's like 5 hours from here to Nashville. So I just went up to Nashville. They put me in a kick-ass hotel. I filmed in another hotel that was only 4 miles away. We filmed it in a conference room. And once I walked in there, they locked the door where nobody would come interrupt us while we're filming. And as soon as I was done filming, they started packing up their stuff and they had a flight. I think, I started at like 8 and finished like at 12:30, 1 o'clock, 1:30. They packed up everything, and I think they had like a 4 o'clock flight. They got everything, got a car, went to the airport, went back to Seattle, and filmed the other episodes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Being part of the All Access Net Family Network, I never thought that I would actually do this, even contemplating it. And now, I mean, this is episode 5 with you this evening. And it's amazing. I'm actually like,
dude, and I'll tell you what,
in the culture
as an pro at this, you're kicking ass and taking names, and you're getting yourself, you're learning your craft. You're now becoming a content creator. And you're doing well.
It's kind of frightening. I mean, to be honest with you,
frightening us all.
I had no plans on, but you know what? I'm glad that I joined this group because everybody is so supportive of each other.
Yeah.
Everybody is quick to like and share each other's material and get just want to make the network grow.
The good thing about it, dude, there's like no ego on this network. It's like we all care about each other. We want each other to do well. Dude, I don't care if you have, every guest in the world on that you want on there. I want you to have them guests. I want them to get to meet Jeremy. Oh yeah, Jeremy's a cool guy, man.
Yeah, I wish I did get a chance to see more of the episodes of your previous show, the Supernatural Murder show. That actually was very intriguing at one point. And I know that you told me earlier that the show had run its course. You guys did everything you wanted to do with it. And it's time to do the Cryptids podcast now, which I think is going to be an amazing show, no doubt.
Yeah, we love doing it, but it's like I said, it got to a point. It's like, do we really want to do this anymore? I've been wanting to change direction for about a month or 2 now.
Okay.
And I talked with Lee, and I said, Lee, would it really hurt us not to do Supernatural Murders and do something else in that spot?
Yeah.
He said, well, what do you think? And I said, let's do cryptids. Because we were just on Monster Quest.
Exactly.
They're all about cryptids on that show. I said, we can get people to tell their stories, tell their experiences. I think the audience would love to hear their true, what happened to them when they were out in the woods or somewhere this creature showed up.
Agreed.
And we sit there and we went over probably about 10 different names. And at first I was going to call it super cryptids. I was like, no, that just doesn't sound right. It doesn't ring right. And then my spirit got gentle. I goes, call it Cryptid Nation. I'm like, that's it, Cryptid Nation. That's what we're going to call it. Lee made just a badass poster for it. We are now starting to get people sending their stories in that want to be told.
Right.
And one of the good things about it too is people from Monster Quest watch our network.
Oh, nice.
They really do. So we might have a diamond in the rough of a story of something that they can get a hold of that person and put them on next year's season of Monster Quest. It was a win-win for all of us of that.
Oh, I totally agree with you because I mean, one hand washes the other, and that's what's pretty much how everything goes in all forms of life. Whether it was my previous years in the professional wrestling industry, or then my years in doing the paranormal and investigating, and now transitioning into podcasting and showcasing everybody from horror to paranormal to wrestling to pop culture.
Yeah.
I plan on doing shows with Marvel and DC stuff. I plan on doing stuff because I think everybody has a story to tell, and I think that it's just going to be a great time, and I can't wait to see the cryptid thing because the amount of cryptids you can cover. I think I have a book in my collection. It's like the cryptozoology thing A to Z or something like that. And it's like 300 fucking pages of nothing but. I mean, when people think about cryptids originally, they think of the Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, the Jersey Devil, but there are so many more. There's endless amounts of more.
I will tell you this: one of our guests we have on, she's a good friend of mine. She's a paranormal investigator, but now she does what they call CE5, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, with aliens. Aliens are cryptid. I don't care what nobody says. Aliens are cryptids because they're not natural animals.
Right.
But we're going to have her on the show. Stuff she's talked about and been to. It's been fascinating to hear her story. People are going to like it because it throws a different perspective out there because it's their story. We're doing this. We want to hear their stories where people could learn about the different cryptids. Right. I've always been fascinated with cryptids since I was a little boy. But I was the weird kid that paid for a Disney ticket and sneak into the horror movies. So,
I agree with you as far as like my interest in cryptids is fairly newish because I concentrated, and it still is. My passion is the spirit side of the paranormal, but I do delve a little bit into the enjoyment of the aliens and the Bigfoot and Sasquatch, and then the cryptids. And I truly do feel in my heart that it's all intertwined with each other. It's all part of the same umbrella.
It's all connected.
Just like you say that aliens are cryptids, I feel that most of the cryptids are alien species as well. So it's all tied together.
Good point.
Because hell, we've been proven recently through multiple mediums like the Discovery Channel and history and whatnot that the civilizations before us, let's face it, there definitely was a race of mankind before the current one that's here.
Yep.
Were far more advanced than we even give them credit for because they keep pulling these devices out of the ground that our current day scientists have no idea how the fuck the thing works in the first place.
Don't. And that's the funny part about it, dude. It's like they still can't accurately date the pyramids. Most people will say they're 4,000 years old. No, they go back about 12 to 15,000 years.
My mind is when the pyramids it blows itself away because the way that they were built and the amount of weight that each one of those blocks had, even at a base level, to tell me that mankind themselves could move those up and up, and then at the very top it has that sheen, that really slick sheen, and you realize that probably went all the way down on all four sides. There's no way that our current depiction
Not even
of how they were.
I've been to the pyramids. We did a joint investigation, a joint training session with the Egyptian Air Force.
Oh, wow.
And one of their majors, his part-time job was to do tours of the pyramids. He took us in place of the pyramids that only, like, you know, that dude that's always on all the pyramid shows, was it Zawas?
Okay.
Yeah, him. He's probably been in there. He took us to places in there, dude. I'm like, there is no way humans with their technology at the time could have built this. And this is an interesting point. I'll take you as a little history. The Great Pyramid in Giza and one of the Mesopotamian pyramids over in Central and South America.
Yep.
The Aztecs. It is exactly 3 inches, not 3 inches, 3 millimeters apart in size on the base.
Oh, wow.
How? And another thing, how in the hell was there tobacco and chocolate in the Egyptian pyramids if they wasn't interacting with each other? And you found papyrus and other things that were Egyptian in the ones in Central and South America.
Yeah.
The Aztecs. I'm like, no, there had to be some kind of connection there.
No, I definitely agree with everything that you're saying on that end of the coin, because it's just the more that they uncover, and it brings more questions and more questions. And, you know, I never really thought I'd have much of an interest in all of that, but the more that I actually see it on TV and they find these complex boxes with these gears, and it obviously was used for something particular, but the current day scientists have no idea how to use this thing or what it was for. And it's just amazing. To me, my biggest thing is the heads on Easter Island.
Oh,
right?
dude.
And if they, when they did the sonar and it goes down, and those things have full bodies.
Full bodies.
Yep.
And this is what's more amazing, Jeremy. That stone that they're carved out of doesn't come from that island.
Yeah.
It's nowhere to be found except for the moai on the island.
If you think about it, how long did those take to sink all the way down so only their head is showing? And that tells you how much time has been spent.
Thank you.
Back in the day. And my God, I can't believe how fast this hour is cranking by, man. It's been a blast sitting here talking. So something I like to talk about people with. I mean, I don't know if you have, I don't know if you're a horror guy, if you watch any horror movies. So I like to do what I like to call the Mount Rushmore of horror characters. You know, I want to get your take on your top 4 horror characters in your mind.
Okay, let's go first with Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, the OG. Oof.
The OG. I snuck into that movie when I was 8 years old instead of watching a Disney movie. Let's see. Number 2 on that Mount Rushmore, Michael Myers. And a lot of people won't know this, but there was a movie called Phantasm that came out in the late 70s.
The tall man from Phantasm.
The tall man. I loved his character because he always had like this creepy voice when he talked. And he had a ball that had stuff that come out of it that would kill you. It had drills in it. It had blades in it. It was like, oh, this is like the coolest thing ever. That's my top 4. I have to throw an honorable mention in there to Freddy. Because Freddy,
I agree. Yeah, Freddy's my favorite only because
love Freddy.
Robert Englund has been my favorite horror villain of all times. I think it's because he talks and he pulls you in with the. I mean, the first one scared the hell out of me when I was a kid, and then like the other, it did get campy and funny. Like, well, I mean, Dream Warriors is a phenomenal one. Number 3.
I love that one.
You know, even like one of my personal favorites is Jason versus Freddy when they put that one out in the early 2000s.
That was so good. And then I'll say the worst one they ever made of Jason. Jason Goes to Manhattan.
Oh, God, I saw that in the theater, yes.
I'm sorry. A bunch of New Yorkers would have jumped him and they would have beat the snot out of him.
Come on, that movie has one of the best scenes ever, Blaine. When Jason's walking down the middle of the time and he kicks over the radio and goes, "You're dead, mother!" And he turns around, and takes the mask off, and they all just start running.
Yeah.
That makes me laugh so hard.
That was hilarious. But New Yorkers, they'd have had about 50 of them jump him, and they'd have just beat the bricks off of him.
I agree with you, but I think the worst one of the entire deal is the 9th one, where his spirit jumps from body to body to body.
Yes.
That was garbage.
Yes.
I saw that in the theater. It bothered me so much.
Dude, I was the weird kid. Like I said, I would buy a Disney ticket and go see the horror movies.
I mean, nothing truly beats the original 74 Leatherface.
Dude, Leatherface, the original one, and loosely, and it's funny because that was actually based off of Ed Gein.
Yep.
He was a serial killer. They got him, Psycho, and a couple of other movies that they based that character on Ed Gein, the serial killer. Like,
yes.
This is so badass.
It's
but
crazy.
Leatherface, the original one, dude. That chick, especially seeing it in the theater, and they had at the time they had the most up-to-date sound system they could have in the 70s.
Right.
But that chainsaw, it's so freaking cool.
I'll tell you that's that first guy that he kills with that meat cleaver the head.
Yes.
Oh, and you hear the squeal come out of that guy when he lands on the ground. It's like, oh my God, that's horrendous.
Yep.
I agree with him. I agree with Jason. I take heat for it, but Michael's not in my top 4 because they've ruined his entire timeline, and so much so that the OG one, the first one, great film. The second one, great film.
And the reason I said Michael Myers, the original one, my good friend Tony Moran played Michael in the first movie. Tony's a good friend of mine. It's funny, him and Kane Hodder actually have a paranormal team in LA together.
I love Kane Hodder's version of Jason, which is like 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah.
The space one. The Jason X, Jason Goes to Space, and the high-tech version, the Terminator Jason is really cool. Yeah. No, those guys, Freddy's my number 1 dude, of course. I mean, there's so many guys now. I got Ghostface behind me over here. I do enjoy the franchise. The newer guys like Art the Clown, I do enjoy. It's a bit crazy and a bit over the top gory, but I thank that franchise for bringing back the special effects of horror and getting away from the CGI, because the CGI was ruining movies.
You know what always used to crack me up, especially even as a child, is like the people be running and the monster or the killer would just be gaining them just walking.
Oh yeah.
Like, how in the hell, dude? If you see me run, I'm out running Jason. I'm out running Michael.
Well, you got to give your boy Leatherface credit. At least he ran after people with that chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
And Freddy ran after people with that glove.
Yes,
Jason and Michael would stalk you and get you no matter how fast you ran. You couldn't get away fast enough.
No, it was like they were just barely moving, and you're hauling ass, and all of a sudden, those two are in slow motion speed, but they're gaining on you. I'm like, oh, geez.
And you're tall man, had that interdimensional sci-fi horror thing going, which you learn more about that in like the second one and the third one and the fourth one. The fifth one is a hard watch. I went down a rabbit hole one day and watched all 5 of the Phantasm movies, and that fifth one is a really hard watch. That is really
hard to watch, but I still watched it. It's almost as bad as, you might remember this movie, Children Under the Stairs.
Yep.
I laughed through that whole freaking movie. It made me just cry laugh because it was so bad, but it made me laugh. The Fog was another one. It was a good movie, but God, it was so bad. My
true favorite, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I love that movie. It was so campy. It's so ridiculous, but I love it.
It was ridiculous, and I have a thing against clowns and dolls anyway, and I'll tell you why while we still got a little time.
Yeah.
Clowns started out in medieval times. They called themselves the highwaymen.
Yeah.
They would paint their faces up while they robbed, stole, and pillaged.
Okay.
And then you go all the way up to John Wayne Gacy, another freaking clown. Evil as hell. Dolls were originally made to house the souls of the dead.
Yeah.
So it took me a little bit to watch the Killer Clowns.
Yeah.
Because my spirits like to mess with me sometimes, and they'd show themselves as clowns.
Oh boy.
When I was a kid. So I don't have a big like for clowns or dolls at all.
All right, that's all good, man. I love them. I mean, I love Tim Curry's original version of it.
Now, I will say that was really good. I don't know if you ever watched the series on HBO, Welcome to Derry.
I've been watching it a little bit.
Dude, that is really good.
It is.
I was amazed how good that was. And the Skarsgård guy that's playing.
Clowns rule, Matt. I give says clowns rule.
Some people love them. I just know their real intention.
Yeah. It's okay, because man, I know we could go on. I know we could definitely go on for days on this thing, man, because we have so much to talk about, and hopefully a little bit down the road I can get you back on for a part two.
You just tell me, man. It'll be my pleasure and my honor to come back, man.
It'd be awesome, man. Listen, first of all, thank you for your service. I really appreciate everything you've done for our country, and
I appreciate you for thanking me for it. And dude, I appreciate what you did. You were a pro wrestler, man. You got to do something I've always wanted to do. I just didn't ever have the time or the courage to do it.
That was the hardest part, man. I'll tell you, the first time putting on those boots was the scariest thing, next to my first time on a podcast. But that's completely different,
Let me tell you one quick wrestling story real quick. When we were kids, same side of the street that graveyard was on, I grew up next to. We lived next to 4 houses down from a TV station that taped the old Southern Continental Wrestling.
I remember Continental, yeah.
And we were sitting there front row at the TV taping, and one of the girls sitting next to me went to school with me. Her dad was one of the wrestlers. He was about 450 pounds. He come off the apron and landed right on me.
Oh, no.
How the hell he didn't hurt me? It must have been something he was trained how to land.
Yeah.
But, he kayfabed over and looked at me and goes, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm good." I just go to school. I got crushed by a big old fat wrestler.
That's pretty crazy, Oh, guys, thank you very much, Blaine, for coming on the show tonight. I really appreciate everything, and hopefully we'll definitely get a chance to do this again soon. We'll definitely set something up for part 2 because, we have a lot more to talk about, a lot more locations, and a lot more amazing stories that I know you have all built up in your 40 years of doing this amazing thing that we call the paranormal.
Yeah.
I am appreciative of the paranormal and everything that has allowed me to experience firsthand.
Thank you.
I don't do drama on this show at all. That's definitely one thing I stay away from. It might be a little twisted. It might be a little crazy at times, but I definitely don't go down drama boulevard.
Yeah, I'm with you on the drama. I'll walk away from somebody that's a drama queen at an investigation.
Oh, no, investigation on the podcast. I try
like in life, yeah.
Just like yourself, I try to stick with a higher vibration and try to bring that to everybody. But I am Jeremy Cotter. This is my guest this evening, Blaine Rohan. This has been Twisted Tales Season 5. I'll see you next week. Gwen, take us home.